It's 3 in the morning. A scientist in Graz, Austria, is running through empty university corridors. He has to get to the laboratory now. Not tomorrow, not in an hour, now. Because he knows something. Something his waking brain had been searching for 17 years. And he knows with absolute certainty that if he doesn't write it down in the next few minutes, it will be gone. There's a pattern in the history of science that doesn't appear in textbooks. The biggest breakthroughs didn't happen in laboratories. They happened in bed. I'm not talking about metaphor. I'm talking about something that can be measured, replicated, and, tonight, deliberately triggered. 3 people you're about to meet did one identical thing before their breakthroughs. They had a pen next to their bed. That's it, a pen, a notebook. Stanford, 1996. A 23-year-old PhD student named Larry Page woke up in the middle of the night with a strange thought. He dreamed he could download the entire internet. Not browse it, download it, and somehow index all of it. Page grabbed a pen, spent the next several hours writing out the math, convincing himself it was probably nothing. But something about the structure felt exact, real. Those notes became Backrub, then PageRank, then Google. A company worth over $3 trillion, built on a dream. In the early 1860s, a German chemist named August Kekulé had spent years trying to map the molecular structure of benzene, a substance that didn't behave like any known chain. No chain model fit. One evening in 1865, he dozed off in front of his fireplace. In the half-sleep state between waking and unconsciousness, he saw a vision. A serpent biting its own tail. The Ouroboros. He woke up and immediately understood. Benzene wasn't a chain. It was a ring. Otto Loewi had spent 17 years asking a single question. Do nerves communicate electrically or chemically? The scientific consensus said electricity. He wasn't sure. Then came Easter Saturday, 1921. Loewi woke at 3 in the morning with the design of an experiment so precise, so elegant, he knew immediately it would answer the question. He grabbed whatever paper was nearby and scribbled it all down. Went back to sleep. In the morning, he couldn't read a single word. He couldn't read his own handwriting. The next night, Easter Sunday, the dream returned. This time, he didn't go back to sleep. He ran to the laboratory. He ran the experiment. Nerves communicate chemically. Nobel Prize, 1936. So what's actually happening here? When you're awake, your prefrontal cortex operates with high levels of norepinephrine, a chemical that functions as a filter. It keeps your associations tight, logical, practical. It prevents you from connecting a dream about a snake to the structure of benzene. During REM sleep, norepinephrine levels in the neocortex drop. Not gradually, almost completely, to near zero. The filter, the sensor, goes offline. Those isolated islands of memory and knowledge that normally can't reach each other, they begin to connect. A 2009 PNAS study found that participants who'd entered REM sleep scored 40% higher on creative problem-solving tests than those who rested without dreaming. So now you understand the mechanism. You know why breakthroughs happen in dreams. Case closed. Except none of these men understood any of this. They weren't relying on REM sleep at all. Here is the cruel irony. The same neurochemical absence that makes REM dreams creative is the exact reason you forget them. The norepinephrine needed to encode memories is precisely the chemical that's been switched off. You've already forgotten dozens of your potential Google moments. They slipped out of your hands between the dream and the moment you were fully awake, and they're gone. Thomas Edison, 1,093 patents. He would sit in a chair, hold steel ball bearings in his open palms over metal trays on the floor, and fall asleep. That's the method. Hold something, fall asleep, wake when it drops. You have it now. Except, wait, because Salvador Dali did the exact same thing, independently, with a large iron key held over a plate. Two of the most creative people in modern history independently discovered the same neurological hack. Neither published it, neither told anyone. You would have assumed they simply worked hard and got lucky. In 2021, the Paris Brain Institute tested this exact technique. Participants who fell asleep holding an object and woke the instant it dropped achieved creative insight at 2.7 times the rate of those who stayed awake. 83% versus 30%, after just 15 seconds of sleep. So here is what all of this actually means. Your brain, during the first moments of falling asleep, in that specific N1 state, before REM, before deep sleep, operates in a configuration that your waking consciousness cannot replicate. The norepinephrine filter drops. Associations form that cannot form while you're awake, and they disappear when you wake up fully, unless you write them down. The pen next to the bed. That's all it is. Larry Page grabbed a pen. Loewi wrote illegible notes, then waited a night for another chance. Edison and Dali built mechanical systems to catch the exact moment their filter dropped. They were all doing the same thing, honoring what the sleeping brain produces. Tonight, before you sleep, write down one problem. One question, not a list, one, and put a pen next to your bed. If this changed the way you think about sleep, subscribe. There's a lot more about the hidden machinery of the human mind where this came from. And one question before you go. Did Edison and Dali discover this method on purpose, or did they stumble onto something they didn't understand? Leave your answer below.